Actually, up there it says Catherine and Dwayne O'Kane, right?
That's our picture order.
Oh, your picture order. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Wouldn't want anyone...
We wouldn't want to think Dwayne and Catherine, right?
Right, we wouldn't want anyone to mix you two up there, for sure. For sure. The white hair just makes you look completely the same now, right? Okay, so even though I may not entirely be able to see your show of hands, if you are here for the very, very, very first time ever, raise your hand nice and high. Okay, wow, that is cool. Okay, well, welcome to those of you who are here for the very first time, and thank you for joining us. And of course, welcome to those of you who join us often. We love that all of you are here, and this is going to be a lovely evening. So to open up, I'm just going to speak a little bit about Clear Mind, and then introduce Dwayne and Catherine so they can take it away, and speak more about courageous conversations. Okay, so Clear Mind International is an institution that runs both personal development workshops as well as a 3-year counselor training program. Our foundational workshop is called The Awakening. So just out of interest, who here in the audience has actually taken The Awakening? Okay, great. So just keep your hands up for a moment. Don't put them down. For any of you who are even thinking about taking The Awakening, sometimes the staff gets really busy at the end of the night, so just peek around. You can see whose hand is up. Yeah, don't put them down. I see some hands that are dropping. And you can actually approach any of these people and ask them about their experience, because once you've taken The Awakening, there's just so much to say. So I am sure that they would be willing to answer your questions, okay? So speak to each other. Have courageous conversations. Okay, so we also do annual workshops at Clear Mind. Those are the men's and women's workshops, the addictions and attachments workshop called The Edge, our couples workshops, and now we've got a couple versions of those as well. One called Take Two, and then one called Take Two, the sequel, which is for graduates of that workshop. We also have longer workshops that take the course of 1 and 2 weeks. And those are also taken sometimes by our graduates, and also the Root Awakening, which takes 2 weeks, are taken by people all over the world who want to sort of experience Clear Mind with a longer and a deeper intensity. Once you get to know our work, you may want to jump into those longer workshops, as it just allows you to have a longer experience of the thing that you already touched on in those weekend workshops. The counselor training program is a 3-year program that can be taken in person or online at this time. The local classroom, a lot of people ask us about the location. I think this year, are we in Vancouver? Is it officially in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. Right, and the online classroom is for, well, everyone all over the world. There are people from 7 countries across 3 continents that join us there. And they are typically held during the day to accommodate for all time zones. People also typically ask us about the experience between those 2 classrooms, and they are so different and so beautiful in and of their own right, meaning that the connection that you feel, which is the point of having the experience together, is equal between both types of classrooms. The work is experiential, whether you're doing our workshops or our 3-year counselor training program. The work is experiential. So for those of you that understand the word experiential, do you guys know what that means? Just give me a raised hand. Right, cool. Okay, so it basically means that you get to practice the work using your body, doing exercises, actually being involved in the work with your whole self versus just your mind. This to me is the most powerful and the most incredible, the most impactful part of our work. And it is the reason why I did The Awakening and then just continued on and did everything I could basically make time for and get my hands on under the Clear Mind umbrella. The difference between experiential and non-experiential is this, if I were to put it in a nutshell. If you read something and you feel inspired, after a few days, or maybe even a few hours, it tends to wear away. Because you absorb it in your mind, you know it, and then you have to keep sort of telling yourself that, or practicing it, and holding it there in order for it to be alive. When something is experienced, it's like pulling that feeling into your body and actually being able to believe it. Believe it with every ounce of your being that you can live from it. So that's a very different experience than knowing something in your mind. So for example, that feeling of being good enough, if I were to call on someone and say, you do know that you are good enough. Someone might say, yeah, I know. It's like, yes, there's a part of you that knows, and then there's something in here that worries that maybe that's not true. And that is the part that calms down and actually opens up and gets to connect to the truth that you are. And then you get to walk around with that. And that's why I love the experiential piece of it, because it truly makes an impact on your day-to-day living. So tonight's topic is about courageous conversations. And what I love about this title and the description of it on the website, if any of you did jump on and check that out, is that this is something that we practice pretty passionately at Clearmind, not only in our personal relationships, but as a team, as a company. And so we aren't perfect at it. We fumble and we stumble with the best of them. But the point is that we keep getting up and we keep moving toward the conversation, toward that vulnerable spot, toward the difficult thing to say to each other, and towards the part of us that might feel shaky, the part that needs to be responsible in the middle of an exchange. And all of that hard stuff that I named, that's where the word courageous gets added to conversations. Because it takes a lot of guts to show up in all of those ways, right? In that hard moment with another person or with a team, and be emotionally responsible, be open-hearted, be clean in what you're communicating. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not easy to do that. But if there's one thing I have learned by practicing this work over and over again for the 8 years that I've been a part of it, is that it is always worth it. Always. Full stop. So with that, I'm going to introduce Dwayne and Catherine, who are going to speak about this for much longer than I am right now. And they're going to blow you away, because that's just what they do, ever so naturally. They are the creators and the co-founders of Clearmind International, which has now been in existence for 25 years and growing strong. Dwayne and Kath are both registered clinical counselors, workshop facilitators, teachers, and passionate and inspiring public speakers, which I don't even have to say, because you're just about to witness that. Catherine also has her master's in clinical psych, and between the two of them, they have more than 50 years of experience in the field. They have traveled all over Canada and Europe, and most recently Costa Rica. You might notice their lovely tans when they stand up here. Teaching and facilitating workshops, retreats, speaking, and also recently promoting their best-selling book called Real, The Power of Authentic Connection, which we will also have for purchase this evening just around the tables in the back there.